Hello, I'm Mike McCulloch. Today I'm going to try and answer a question that was asked on my YouTube channel, which was whether quantized inertia still explains the inertial forces in terms of a spinning object. And yes, I will try to explain that now. So in standard physics, what is understood is that there's Newton's first law, so things tend to keep traveling in a straight line unless you push on them. So things travel in a straight line. So this is not explained, it's just kind of assumed in standard physics. So that whenever you have a spinning object in which it's moving in a circle, so something is obviously pulling it in, some real force is pulling it towards the center, then the object will try to go in a straight line, so it will be pushed outwards. And we know this as what we call centrifugal force. And because I'm not in nature today, I brought nature inside. So I've got this branch here, and every time I twist it, you can see that the leaves splay out. So when I'm not twisting it, they're facing down, and when I twist it, they splay out. So this is an illustration of this idea. And as I said, standard physics assumes that the force inwards is real, but it assumes that the force outwards, the centrifugal force, is a pseudo force, because it's trying to follow Newton's first law and go in a straight line instead of curving. So you get a kind of compromise, and you get this sort of splaying out effect. But in quantized inertia, it's very different conceptually. So in quantized inertia, and I've tried to show what's going on with this diagram here, shows here an object which is accelerating or curving in its path. So it's not changing its speed, but it's changing its velocity because the direction is changing. And the acceleration is towards the central point, which is shown by the dot here. So it's accelerating in that direction. So in quantized inertia, it will have a horizon which is in the other direction. And I've shown that with the dashed line here. Because it's accelerating towards the center, information will find it harder to get to it from the outside. And so there'll be a horizon there. It will also see Unruh waves, but on the left-hand side of the object, shown here, there'll be no less damping of these waves because there's only the cosmic horizon out there, and it's light years away. But on the right-hand side, there's a Rindler horizon, which can be fairly close, much closer anyway, than the cosmic horizon. So that will tend to damp Unruh waves on the right-hand side of it. So that means that it will feel more push from Unruh waves from the left than from the right. So it will tend to move out. So this is a better model because we're not simply assuming that it's tending to move out because it's trying to follow Newton's first law. We actually have a mechanism now to look for Unruh radiation, which has a gradient between the left and the right of the object. More Unruh waves on the left-hand side, pushing it to the right, and fewer Unruh waves damped by the horizon, pushing it to the left. So it tends to move right. So it tends to. So this explains why these leaves are moving outwards when I spin it, because the Unruh waves are pushing it that way. And this is a better explanation as well, because Unruh waves can be detected, and they have in fact been seen by Lynch et al. Now. So at some point in the future, we can try to look for them. We can look for them on the right and left of spinning objects or objects curving in their path, and see if there is indeed a differential in the Unruh radiation. And in that way, the centrifugal force becomes a testable concept. It can be tested. Okay, so I hope I've answered the question asked, this good question that was asked to me yesterday. And I hope you've enjoyed this short, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Goodbye.